Welcome to Wide Net Gaming and to part 3 of my State of Decay 2 walkthrough. At the end of part 2, we were left with the wrenches finding a new base. You usually have this in the city area of the map, helping a community out, clearing an infestation or doing some kind of objective to help them. I'm selling a little bit, but here's an instance where I'm buying the repair kit, which is valuable, which I mentioned in the previous part. Next off, with the city area, it is a useful place to scavenge because there are the buildings close by, like they have 2 stories. So for like randomized items, like if you're looking for guns or just random equipment, it can be useful just to have a base. And then you can, proximity-wise, go close by and get a lot of equipment. The big one for the med rucksacks is the hospital in this map. It usually has a few that you're able to get. Every resource, I find, has a building that has a lot, like a gun shop for the ammo, the gas station, gas pumps, multiple for the gas. You also have, for communities that are requesting, kind of like with your community members, they get a little pissy after a while, so but you can still ignore them. It's no big deal, and another community will come along. Here I'm helping out a random survivor, and this is another one of those along the way things where there's always that risk. This is for a resource. When it is open though, like you're going to a place like gas pumps or like some kind of a stand, this is the gas pumps here, it's more worth doing because there's more room to run around, and buildings are close too that will like have those zombies. But this is the classic one of you give a resource and usually get a nicer resource like ammo.
This is what we're looking for.
Or gas. Usually not, like, I mean, you'll get sometimes materials, which isn't very useful. It's typically something a little more rare and useful. In this instance, I'm getting ammo, which in this playthrough I need, so it is worth it. Fortunately, I was able to get out to the Vestiges community, and I did have some plague samples, so no biggie, but you gotta always be open to ignoring a lot of these requests because nothing happens. They're not going to attack you or anything like that. You're good. Here's Jay. I've been using my part 2. Now he has some abilities to upgrade. I usually go with the same ones, like endurance, and then if it's like wits, I'll use the search one. Now I'm going back to Carol here, and then getting another survivor. I'm starting to get a few more where there is some flexibility. I always have like a group of 2 that I'm in good shape with. Next survivor, kind of like with the wrenches you do have a lot of the missions that you're going someplace, checking something out. In this instance, there is a infestation that is there, but you never know like what house you're going to and then what the occurrence is going to be, even though you know it's going to be a house and it's going to be an occurrence that is amongst a handful, but that keeps you engaged. So it is worth like kind of doing these, but that open-endedness of you don't have to do it. You can kind of go along and you can do other things in the meantime. That's usually what I do. Like I'll have someone then do some other objectives and not mess with it. This is the ideal one. Like apart from like the resource one, the one where they go to a house and then you're able to recruit them right away. And then her skills, though, you notice that bottom, there isn't any skill. You can have them learn one that is like useful to your community. So these kind of survivors I like the most because that bottom I'm able to recruit. With infestations, here I picked a spot. This is kind of the first of the big ones. This is the biggest map in the game, actually, the barricaded strip mall. The more zombies you have, the more screamers you're going to have. You see in the top left there, there's 3 screamers, and with the 10 zombies. With infestations, I find you want to clump them together, and at this point in the game, I'm around like the 6-hour mark. This is the part 3 at about 2 hours each. There is a lot of them, and it's good to kind of knock out a few because they gradually accumulate. It's a complaint with people, but if you do one after another, it's less of a pain. It's trickling through them. Doing a couple at a time, then it's more of a pain. With surveying at this point, it's points of opportunity, points of interest. If I am in a location I haven't searched a lot of buildings, it's good to survey and then just get the resources that I want. But really, again, at this point, you're doing a ton of infestations, and it doesn't seem to accumulate later, like later on. It's a good time to do it now because all the special type of zombies aren't as many, even though here I'm facing a juggernaut. It's not multiple ones or like ferals, bloaters, other types that I'm having to mess with. With the juggernaut too, this is kind of a weird area. You don't want to waste your ammo. You don't have all the high tech weapons, a ton of explosives, etc. It's good to just avoid combat and try to get to those resources. But here, the juggernaut is conveniently by the police station. And here, one more infestation yet again. This time, though, this one has a survivor. It's that occurrence where there's one survivor in there. You can hear the gunfire actually in the background in the back room. It's got like an auto shotgun. These ones are ideal though, because once you trigger it, then you got that extra person to help you out. You don't always luck out too when you're going with a trader. Sometimes it's not buy, not sell. This guy just has books that I can purchase, which aren't useful to me. So like that's how it goes. One other element that starts to happen is you use other cars, so your other ones don't break up as much. Here's getting a bit later, hitting yet another infestation. Napalm again, extremely useful to clear them out because, like with infestations in particular, before you get like the riot guards, zombies, that the napalm is very useful. Now here I'm doing it wisely. This happens a lot where your companion gets clobbered, and then if you throw napalm, they should cook them too, but they're able to escape that way. So in this occurrence, it worked in comparison to the last one. This is the part of the game, though, where you hit more of a slump. You need to decide what you want to do, the specific resources that you need. Here I'm getting the 2 bounties. I'm noticing that I had around this area with the easier ones. You're able to get weapons like the AK and some explosives. So I do like the bounty editions. It's the first game I played that has had it. Time to promote my leader. I love the trader, and I decided to go with Carol from The Walking Dead here, since she is one of the 2 traders I have. Here is the repair kit that I am crafting, always useful. You get this guy around this time too, the person that visits your base that has some mission. This is the one with the bloater. Finally getting back to the police station. One of the big gun shops. There are quite a few areas that you can do. This is the biggest one though, that has all the various weapons. It's useful to make an outpost to drop all your equipment off. And here's the final spot where I have a lot of people. I'm growing some zombies, another infestation here. For some reason, sometimes they're able to get the feral, one-shot them, even though they struggle with other zombies. The juggernauts that you leave at allied bases or neutral or hostile, they usually sit around there. It's almost like it's on pause until you get back, and then it kind of resumes. So I sort of hang around until they do some more damage, and then I try to finish them off. This one though here, again, napalm, extremely useful. They start to cluster a lot more. That artillery command that I was talking about earlier, you have to have it far enough away for it to be activated. At this point, juggernauts, you want to be careful when there's too many zombies at a point, and here I am getting too far away from my house. The firecrackers you see in the back, there's a little reference there, see him looking up. I got my 2 guys because the one guy is going extra, and I got the base, but I'm a little bit far away here. And my luck does run out. I lose my one, not my community member companion, but the one with the separate mission, which is okay. They're useful to be used for that. But with the crowds overtaking here, now I'm finally losing Madeline. Funny thing that does happen though, sometimes when you lose members or lose some others, the community close by will become hostile. Here I take a hit, a shot, and These are the random things that the game does best when you don't know what is going to happen. Like this could have not. He could have been helping me. But here is a good flee circumstance where I have no health left and I have to retreat. Like, subscribe. I'll see you next time.